Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by our sister. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity so I do not blame like those people that say that there is no such thing like witchcraft? It is because they have never come across such a situation. So this is what happened to me. My mother is a witch and my mother killed my daughter, and this hurts me a lot. Like when we were still growing up, we always had stories about people who were saying that my mother is a witch, people claiming that she had bewitched them, but I never believed those people. So what happened was that me and my husband, we then came here to South Africa. So we had this other daughter of mine. She has since passed away. We were staying with her here in South Africa. So my husband then told me that he kept on having these dreams, and in his dreams he kept on seeing my mother. My mother would come to him, then my mother will tell my husband to hand over our daughter to her. Then my mother will transform and she will become like a big snake. Then my mother will start to eat our daughter. So when my husband told me these dreams of his that he was having, I just thought that maybe he was just scared. Then what happened was that I started to have those same dreams that my husband was also having. I would see my mom, and my mom, she will be so angry. Sometimes she will be smiling at me. Then all of a sudden, she will start to get so angry at me. And when I would speak with her, she will be like, do not touch me. Then she will get so angry, so much that she will transform herself and she will become this very big snake. Then she will snatch my daughter away from me. Then that big snake will start to eat my child alive. It then happened that our daughter got so sick. When our daughter got sick, like she would turn yellow, like her nails will turn yellow, including her eyes and her tongue as well. So we then went with our child to the hospital. Little did we know that we were not supposed to take her straight to the hospital since this was just witchcraft. So we took our child to the hospital. Then she was like, okay. And after she had recovered, that was when our daughter was discharged, and we then returned back home with our daughter. But we did not know that our daughter was about to die. When our daughter got sick again, that was when we heard of this other white garment prophet. We then went to that white garment prophet. Then that white garment prophet told us that it was already too late, because when she looked at our daughter, she saw that there was no life anymore. She then told us that we were not supposed to take our daughter to the hospital. The time that we saw that our daughter, she was sick like that and her tongue was turning yellow, we should have known and we should have gone and visited a prophet. But at that time, we did not know that this was just pure witchcraft. Then that prophet told us that it was going to be okay. Our daughter was going to survive if we could go back to Zim in time. But she was even doubting herself, because she said that it was almost too late. Our daughter was really sick, but she said she was going to prepare some prayers, and she prepared some prayers for me, and she gave me those prayers. And she said that when you are in Zim, I want you to go straight to your mom's place and you give your mom your daughter. The moment that your mom is going to take your daughter, then your daughter is going to be okay. So we then returned back to Zim. When we were on the bus, unfortunately, that was when my daughter passed away. It was really terrible, my brother, because when my daughter passed away on the bus, it was this other woman who was sitting on the seat which was close to the seat where me and my husband were seated with our daughter. She was the one who noticed that even though I was still holding my daughter in my arms, but my daughter, she had since stopped breathing. I was already in denial because I had noticed that my daughter, she was no longer breathing, but I just kept on telling myself that she was going to be okay. She was fast asleep. I was in denial. Then that woman spoke with me, and she told me that she felt as if my daughter was no longer okay and was not breathing anymore. But my brother, I refused. Then she told the other passengers, and the passengers told the bus driver. The bus was then stopped, and after the bus had been stopped, the driver and the conductor came to the place where me and my husband were seated, and they looked at my child, and indeed they saw that my daughter had passed away. I cried so hard, so much that a lot of people who were on that same bus, they also started crying. We stayed at that place. We stayed at that place for almost 4 hours whilst we were waiting for the police to arrive. And when the police arrived, I was already traumatized, because what the passengers had did is that they took my daughter away from me. Then they took her blanket. Then they laid her on the passage of the bus, and they covered her with that blanket. It really traumatized me. Even right now, this thing that happened, it still traumatizes me a lot, but this is what happened. I then spoke with my mom. At that time, I was really angry, and I also told her that I knew that she was the one who had bewitched my daughter. And my mother, on the other side, she started to cry. Up until this day, me and my mother, we do not even talk with each other anymore. So to the people out there who do not believe that there is such a thing like witchcraft, I say that it is okay, because you have never encountered witchcraft, and the day that someone is going to bewitch you or to bewitch your child, then you are going to know that witchcraft, it is real. So my mother is a snake. She transforms herself when she wants to bewitch someone, then she will become that snake. Oh, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister, and I hope that you were able to understand that translation that I gave you. Strange things do happen in this world. Then there is another message that was sent to me by our dear sister. The message reads like this: hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I have come here on your platform because I am asking for advice. So I am working here in South Africa as a maid. So at the place where I was working for this other Indian family, right next door, there was this other young man who had his own young wife. So it happened that one day when he returned back home, he found me sitting just outside close to the place where I was working. He stopped his car and he called me and he said that he wanted to speak with me. I then went to his car. He then told me that he wanted to give me some money, but I was supposed to give him something back. He said that he wanted to sleep with me because all of his life he had always wondered how a black woman tastes. So he wanted to taste me. He then gave me some money, and this was like brand new money that he gave to me, and it was 10,000 rands. So I thought that maybe this was a trap, and I ignored him. But throughout the week, he kept on communicating with me, and I saw that this man, he really wanted to taste me. Then I agreed. I then slept with him. After I had slept with him because of the money that he was giving me, I then told him that I was in love with him. He then told me that he does not love me. He only loves his wife, and I was like a prostitute to him. So after he had told me that I was his prostitute, in anger, I said, okay, it is fine. If I am a prostitute, go and find some guys whom I am going to sleep with. And he then told me that, yes, he was going to do that. He collected me one day. We then went to this other guy who was from Pakistan. When I arrived there were 8 guys that were from Pakistan, and they said that they all wanted to sleep with me. So I slept with them, and they all paid me 2,000 rands per person, and we slept together throughout the night, and they were exchanging me one by one. So when I saw that I had made so much money, just one night I had made almost 16,000 rands, I said, this is what I am going to be doing. I then stopped working at the place where I was working, and I started staying in that same community, and I am still servicing these guys that are from Pakistan. So at the place where I am staying right now, there's this other old man. He is quite old, somewhere around 72 years old. So this guy, he saw me exercising. and he said that I have such a beautiful body and he wants to sleep with me. I then ended up sleeping with him, but this guy, he says that he wants to marry me. Please help me out. Should I take advantage of him? Should I just sleep with him so that I can get a South African citizenship? Oh, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our sister right there. Please let us speak with her in the comment section.